Well, welcome viewers, Dr. JWA, theologist. Who is ruling Australia? Just a behavioural political analysis. We know the banks are, but we'll stay with pretending the government is. Episode 21, when consciousness itself became politically overlorded. In episode 20, I explored the awakening that Australian rights were designed to stand above illegitimate institutional illusion. That's what Australia's up against now. Illegitimate institutional illusion. We should be above that, not beneath it. And so in this episode, I'm going to examine the deeper paradox. People cannot return to inherited protections while their consciousness remains politically managed away from those inheritances and protections under the Constitution as Australian citizens. And at first, too much news, too much conflict, too much pressure, too many competing explanations, and Australians told themselves they were simply overwhelmed by modern life. Then slowly, another recognition began surfacing beneath the exhaustion. The mind was not only tired, it was being overloaded. A woman sits alone inside a laundromat while dryers spin through the evening heat. Her phone keeps refreshing headlines about political reform, safety, equity, security, crisis, progress, protection, and national responsibility. And every word sounds important, but almost none of it gives her peace. And viewers, that matters because populations cannot easily remember buried protections while their attention is continually redirected toward immediate emotional management. The system does not need people to deny their inheritance completely, their Australian birthright inheritance. It only needs them to distracted, depleted, stimulated, and uncertain to return to it with clarity. And that is the paradox. Australians inherited protections rooted in conscience, dignity, limited government, moral responsibility, freedom of speech, property stewardship, family stability, and authority accountable beneath God. Well, Australians now live mentally crowded by narratives that make those protections feel distant, outdated, embarrassing, or even too dangerous to name, and as a matter of fact, Australians have become ignorant of it all. Because the protection still remains, it's there. The conscience to recognise it has weakened. The awareness of the Australian constitutional protections are still there, but we're not aware of them. And that's why these institutional illusions are overpowering the protections of them, because people don't know how to defend themselves constitutionally. A father stands in a school pickup zone under parental frustration while another message arrives about policy compliance and community expectations. He does not reject responsibility. He rejects the same feeling that citizenship has quietly shifted from moral agency into managed behavioural participation. And somewhere beneath that recognition, another truth begins surfacing. Political overlording does not always begin by removing rights. Sometimes it begins by occupying attention until people forget the rights they still possess. And the human system slowly adapts. People stop studying foundations, constitutional foundations. People stop questioning these definitions. What's a male, what's a female? Well, the government, these institutions don't even know. That's overlording. That's putting themselves above God. Well, you're not allowed to do that constitutionally. People stop trusting their instinct. People stop disguising compassion with compliance. People stop recognizing when protection becomes control. And the nervous system learns to survive the next announcement instead of recovering the older architecture beneath the noise. And this is where ignorance becomes functional for power, functional for these illegitimate illusions of the institutions. Not stupidity, it's conditioned disconnection. Australians, kept exhausted enough, will often mistake inherited liberty for permission granted by the very system meant to remain limited by it. You see, the governments and the institutions have cast off limits. They're running wild. Giggle versus tickle, or tickle versus giggle. That's the evidence. Because recovery begins when consciousness turns back toward Christian fundamental constitutional rights. Truth above narrative. Conscience before coercion. Law above rulers. God above government. Family before bureaucracy. Dignity before utility. And freedom joined to responsibility. These aren't relics. These are recalibrators. These are system recalibrators for the benefit of the mental health of the Australian citizens. They return the Australian from managed reaction back to a moral orientation. The dryer keeps turning, the country does too, and somewhere beneath the overload, another truth slowly begins surfacing. And I challenge you to listen to this very carefully. Australians begin recovering when they stop letting political noise occupy the consciousness required to remember the protections that still belong to them. I'm Dr. JWA, theologist since 1994. Like, subscribe, comment to educate me, and share to help somebody else. Bye for now.